Welcome back to Cape Chronicle. I'm Mike Renick. Joining me now is Tim Bryant, Regional Manager for Farmers Insurance of Southeast Missouri. Welcome, Tim.
Hey, good to be here.
Good to be here with you. Well, you're a popular guy these days, aren't you?
Yeah, when Grant Dade comes on TV and tells you there's a funnel cloud or something around in our area, I know I certainly tune in because we cover 23 counties, and I want to make sure that if something's happening somewhere, that I've got an agent there that I can reach out to and say, hey, how's it going?
So 23 counties as a regional manager, that's what you oversee?
I've got the whole boot heel.
Okay. And how long have you been in the insurance business for?
15 years.
Okay. I guess you mentioned Grant Dade. This segment is about some of the severe weather impact.
Yeah.
Boy, this area just really, you can have a season like we have right now where you see a lot of it, and then a season where you see none of it, and that could be winter, spring, summer, fall.
Yeah, we've had some relatively calm issues in the last few years, but it seems like this year Mother Nature's rearing her head and saying, hey, I'm still here.
That's right.
And I go all the way to West Plains and all the way to the Mississippi River, so we've had several tornadoes in our area.
So with that, so you mentioned the agents that you have in the field. What is that kind of relationship? You're talking with them on a regular basis when you know that there's severe weather, and this could be ice. It could be anything like that.
Sure. I'm a liaison between the agent force and our claims department. If they need me to get involved in anything, why I definitely will do that. But as claims are rolling in, I'm kind of monitoring with the areas that they're rolling in on. If I need to reach out to the claims higher ups, for lack of a better term, see where we're at on getting adjusting teams in place, et cetera, that's a role that I play.
I would guess when there's bad weather, whether it be ice or severe storms, probably the homeowner, renter, whatever the case may be, car owner starts thinking, okay, what does my policy look like?
Yeah.
You start getting a lot of questions around those times and post, I guess, as well.
Yeah. The worst time to figure out what your policy says is when there's a claim that's happened.
Right.
I tell the agents and any clients that I happen to deal with, you need to at least once a year sit down with the agent that you have a relationship with, review your policy. What is your deductible in the event of a wind hail claim? What happens if my house burns? And over the course of time, let's say you add on an addition to your house. When you first took the policy out 6 years ago, it was like this. Well, over the course of time, I've added on to the house, but if you never change your insurance, you're going to wind up being underinsured. Maybe you put a new roof on and you didn't tell anybody. That roof age in a claim could be whether it is settled as actual cash value or replacement cost. It's important to have at least a yearly checkup with your insurance agent that you deal with on all of your needs.
Well, that's a great point, and prices fluctuate obviously. So
yes,
whether that be the cost to put the roof on 5 years ago, probably very different than what it is right now.
Oh, inflation has really hammered the insurance industry. I don't know, the price of goods at lumber, the lumber yards and asphalt shingles, and even getting into the car business. I mean, depending on the vehicle, you may be 6 weeks trying to wait on parts to come in. The pandemic really did a number on the insurance industry at that point. But it all goes back to you need to have a steady communication with your agent. Insurance is one of those deals where you pay it every month or you pay it every year, and it's not tangible.
Sure.
I mean, if you buy a jet ski, you can go out and see your jet ski sitting in the garage. You buy an insurance policy, unless you've got it in your hands, you don't even know what it is unless you take a look at it. And we find that education in the insurance field, people don't have a lot of insurance IQ. But if you have a relationship with your agent and you're looking at it every year, hey, I know what I'm paying for now. I know what my deductible is on my house, et cetera.
And those agents, I mean, that's their job is to educate. So use them as a resource because, you know, you can't expect everyone to stay up on all the changes in policy.
No.
And, you know, there's changes that happen probably daily in the insurance world. So utilize that agent as that resource.
Absolutely. You know, the agents aren't going around and looking at everybody's house each year to say, hey, have they got a swimming pool now, or did they put a new roof on? It's going to be up to the client and the agent to set up a regular yearly cadence. I recommend doing it at the renewal time frame and just reviewing your policy.
So with storms, you know, you talk about know your preparedness plan, really knowing your insurance policy is part of that plan as well, but prior to the storm.
Absolutely. People, you know, you're sitting there watching television, there's a storm coming, and nobody's going and grabbing their insurance policy out of the file cabinet if they can even find it and trying to sift through and see what their coverage A is,
right,
which happens to be the value of your home. And that's a bad time to find out you're woefully underinsured.
So a couple minutes left here. If you maybe have to file a claim, what is that typical process after a storm? Typically, what is happening to make that claim go into action?
Sure. You get a couple of options. I recommend calling your agent of record and saying, hey, I think I got some storm damage out here. I'd like to get a claim started. There's also a direct line to claims that all clients have. If they want to go ahead and start their own claim, they can do that. When a claim is filed, an immediate notification is sent to the agent that says, hey, Sally Sue here has filed a claim on her house. And so then that agent can start following up with the client and say, okay, how's it going? We get notes in our system, and they can just follow along like that and make sure the process is going smooth, because that's when insurance kicks in. Whenever you pay all this money for your premium, you may never need it. And, you know, fingers crossed we never do need it. But when there's a claim, that's when it's time to start getting some money back from the company in the form of a claim payment.
So it sounds like, as we kind of get set to wrap things up here, it sounds like to me, really use that agent. You know, let that agent go to work for you, whether it be through the education process on a yearly basis or when that claim process begins.
Absolutely. If you don't have a relationship with him or her, establish one. And it's up to the agent to keep that rolling as well.
All right, Tim, well, we appreciate your time. I know it's obviously been a very busy time for you, so hopefully you'll have a chance to catch your breath here in the next few weeks if the weather changes. What they say, just wait a few minutes, the weather's going to change,
That's
I think is the phrase
right
around here.
Yes, if you don't like the weather in Missouri, give it a few minutes, it'll change.
Yeah. Tim, thank you so much.
You betcha.
All right, stick around after the break. We'll be